What's up, everyone? We officially have the cast for Big Brother 27. Who is ready to get to know all the faces that we are going to be following for the next 3 months? Can you believe it? Strap yourselves in, get ready for summer, and welcome to your Big Brother update. Right, before we get started, if you are new around here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. I'll be here every single day of summer delivering you all the live feed updates, so make sure that if you want to know what's going on in the house, you hit the subscribe button. I'll let you know about all the comp wins, all the strategy, all the alliances, and all the drama. Who doesn't love a bit of drama? So hit the subscribe button for that. And also, as a smaller content creator, hitting the like button helps me out more than you even know. So please, subscribe, like, let's get to know the cast. Let's go. Okay, gang, who's ready to judge people based on one picture, their occupation and their age? Because I certainly am. And let's get the party started. First up, the first person we're going to be watching on Big Brother this summer is Adrien. Adrien is 23 years old, the same as me. He is from San Antonio, Texas, and his occupation is a carpenter. I gotta say, I love the little necklace that he's wearing with the little lightning bolt. That is so cool. I would totally rock that myself. So already the vibes are fantastic from Adrien. Now, a carpenter on Big Brother. No, not just a carpenter, but a 23-year-old carpenter. I feel like that's not very heard of. That feels unique. That feels like somebody who is willing to go off the beaten path. And that's the people who are usually the best to watch in Big Brother, the people who go against the crowd, the people who are there for themselves, and the people who, you know, don't follow the crowd. And let me tell you something, folks, I don't know many 23-year-old carpenters my age, so Adrien is a welcome addition to this cast. Texas, of course, is no stranger to having Big Brother house guests, and I know I've got a lot of viewers from Texas as well. Texas viewers, say hi, I want to see y'all in the comment section. But yeah, from San Antonio, 23 years old, Adrien, the carpenter, is our first house guest. Okay, second house guest. I am excited about this one. Folks, this is Amy. Amy Bingham. She is 43. First of all, let's rejoice. We've got an older house guest. Yay! 43. I'm not calling 43 old, but for Big Brother standards, it's definitely old. She is from Stockton, California, and she is an insurance agent. Let me tell you, folks, I see those necklaces that she's wearing and I see that top she's wearing. She screams messy, and I can't wait for it. Also, older house guests have less inhibitions every single year because they're not as bothered about getting in with the in crowd and not stepping on toes. And by that, I don't mean, you know, people are willing to be more offensive, because I don't give a shit about all that kind of stuff. I care about somebody who's willing to make their own moves in the game, because younger people tend to not do that. So Amy is another welcome addition to this cast. I sense potentially another Angela-like figure. I'm not saying she is going to be like Angela, but somebody who is polarizing and somebody who will probably stir up drama and go against the beaten path. So welcome Adrien and Amy, there's 2 A's already, into the Big Brother 27 cast. Okay, we're going to throw another A into the mix now. We've got Ashley. If you watched my last video, Ashley was part of the leak the other day when the promo dropped for Big Brother 27. And Ashley, she is an attorney. I touched on it briefly in that video, but I'm going to go into it depth more now. But yes, she's 25. She's an attorney, hometown Chicago, Illinois, but she's currently in New York City. She is an attorney. That is the most important piece of information there. I'm going to take a sip right now. Winner material. Winner material. She can win. She can win. Xavier broke the mold as a lawyer when he won Big Brother, and I'm pretty sure there's been a lawyer every single year since. Do I need to double check that? But I'm pretty sure there was. Listen, we're doing research as we go on right now. I'm trying to remember. What did Chelsea do last year? Chelsea wasn't. She was a non-profit director. For some reason, I thought Chelsea was a lawyer, but she wasn't. But she's got people experience, Chelsea, and so do attorneys. People with people experience know how to manage people, know how to navigate difficult people, because there's always difficult people in the Big Brother house. Ashley, right now, just from the first 3, is the person I've got my eyes on, but we'll see as things go on. We've got another A. Can you believe it? The full house guest is also begins with A, and she excites me. She is Ava. Ava Pearl. What a fantastic name. Imagine being called Ava Pearl. That's like the biggest flex ever. Hi, I'm Ava Pearl. The name's Pearl. Ava Pearl. Sorry, I can't get over that. That's fine. Ava Pearl. I'm going to crack out my new whiteboard that I got for this year. This is the perfect opportunity to write the best name ever and start as we mean to go on. I'm so glad we're back, folks. Ava Pearl. I'm just realising it'll be backwards, but you know what? This name's so powerful that you'll still be able to tell what it is. Ava Pearl. Ava Pearl. Let's actually talk about Ava Pearl more than her name. I've said Ava Pearl too many times now, and now Ava Pearl sounds weird. Oh, okay. She's 24, only 1 year older than me. She is from Long Island, New York. I think of Long Island, I think of Nicole from BB21, BB22, and her occupation, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where, even though I'm younger than her, I start to feel like an old man. Her occupation is an aura painter. I'll be real with y'all. I don't know where to go with this one. Just a moment of vulnerability. What's an aura painter? Are you painting auras? The safe bet would be maybe people commission you to say, hey, my aura's bad, man. Can you paint it for me? I don't know how this works. What's an aura painter? Can someone tell me? Can someone young and hip tell me? I say young and hip, I'm 23. But I'm obviously not young and hip enough to know what the hell is an aura painter. She gives Nicole energy. She gives Nicole from BB21, and Nicole was a delight. I thought she was lovely. She was a ray of sunshine in Big Brother 21 in an otherwise kind of underwhelming cast. And she's also from Long Island. She's got that weird nerd geek energy, and she aura paints, folks. Maybe this could be the first ever aura painter and last aura painter to win Big Brother 27. Next up, we have a 50-year-old. The Big Brother gods listened to the cries. They heard that we wanted older house guests. And we have Clifton, who is also known as Will Williams. Obviously goes from his surname. He's 50 years old. He is my pre-season favourite solely based on his age. And, no, I'm kidding, but I do love an older house guest. He is from Wallace, South Carolina, but his current city is Charlotte, North Carolina. And his occupation is a college sports podcaster. So he obviously knows how to talk. Podcasters know how to talk, folks. I'm walking evidence of that right now. And he is also an older house guest, which means he is going to be able to have to pull his weight to get in with the cool kids. It happens every single year. There's maybe one or two people who are a little bit older than the rest of the cast, and all the young aura painters get together, and it's harder to get into that crowd. But if he's a podcaster, he obviously has experience talking to people, not just podcaster, but a college podcaster, so he's probably used to talking to younger people as well. I'm not counting my boy Will out yet. He could actually go the distance if he makes the right inroads. It's always hardest, I think, for the oldest person to get to the end, but I'm looking forward to Will. And I think he might be a man of the people and somebody that all the younger people kind of see as the father figure around the house. And without a doubt, older people need to use that father mother role to get further in the game, because sometimes it's one of the only cards you've got, unfortunately, because of the boxes that the younger people put you into. But yeah, Will. I'm excited about Will. Will looks good. Will is 50. I love an older house guest. Bring on Will. Now, the next house guest is another person who was put in the leak the other day when 5 house guests were leaked from the diary room in the promo, and that is Isaiah. Now, Isaiah is going to be known as Zay. And he's 23, same as me. Oh my god, this is like one of those years, I think, where like I've waited for this, not waited like excitedly, waited like, oh my god, this day is going to arrive, where I am starting to become older or roughly the same age as a lot of the house guests. So yeah, Zay, 23. I really hope I get the pronunciation right here, but Paducah, he's from Paducah, Kentucky. And currently he's living in Provo, Utah. His occupation is a salesperson. I have seen a couple of clips of him online on his social media, and he seems like a whale of a time. I'm getting the vibes of him being another Tucker. It's Tucker in another font. You know, a guy who is kind of okay with being kind of more, I guess... I don't know what the word is. He's very out there, but not in a way where it's like broing down. You know what I mean? It's a more... It's less toxic. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, Zay, I think, will be a good time. He's young. He gets a leg up there already. Seems like he's very funny, which people will appreciate. But also, he might peak early. I'm looking at somebody here who might be the first jury member, or maybe pre-jury even. But I think it's going to be somebody who gets a lot of screen time, probably in the first episode. I'm putting a bet already. I think we'll get a lot of him in the first episode. Next up on the list, we have got Jimmy. Jimmy is 25, somebody older than me. I can finally feel sane again. His hometown is Sarasota, Florida. I know I've got a lot of viewers from Florida as well, so you Floridians say hi. I am saying hi to you right back. The current city that Jimmy is in is Washington, D.C. And his occupation would have suited perfectly with last year's theme. He is an AI consultant. So that is the most modern job I think that Big Brother has ever seen. Maybe Aura Painter could be giving him a run for his money, but I'm not going to let that go. That's going to become an ongoing joke already. Can someone tell me what an Aura Painter is? Or, in fact, here's a challenge. Even if you don't know what an Aura Painter is, I want you to try and guess what it is. I think we're going to have a hilarious comment section if we do that, and that is going to give me many, many belly laughs. So please let me know if you know what an aura painter is. But AI consultant, he looks hip and trendy, doesn't he? He looks very hip and trendy. He's somebody I see going quite far, I think. Yeah, so AI consultant, that is a very modern job, like I said, which probably means he's got his finger on the pulse and works around a lot of young people, intelligent people as well. So I have no doubt in my mind that Jimmy's an intelligent fellow. I see him already making it past the pre-jury phase. I kind of say that effortlessly. I also love his shirt, and a good shirt goes a long way for me. So based on his shirt and his occupation, I think we're going to be seeing Jimmy at least for the next 3 months. Now, another one from the leak, and again, the same age as me at 23. It's Katherine. Katherine is 23 years old. She is from Gwinnett County, Georgia. Again, I know I've got a lot of viewers from Georgia. Say hi, Georgians. And current city that she lives in is Columbia, South Carolina. Her occupation is fine dining server. Is that just... I don't know. She must be in a really kind of bougie restaurant, maybe, to call herself a fine dining server. Yeah, it's obviously not like a Taco Bell. You know, it's something more upscale than that. But again, working in a fine dining restaurant probably means that she has experience with difficult clients. I would say probably the more expensive a restaurant gets, the higher the standards of the clientele. I'm going a bit French there with Hotel Mystère. The clientele will be very... I'm not saying they all are like that, but I think there's a chance that you're going to have to deal with more higher standards, and being able to do that in Big Brother is a big thing, because there are always entitled people every single year who sometimes get a wake up from reality when they're in the house and they realise, you know, a lot of people have been served everything their entire life and have never been held accountable for anything, have never struggled for anything, and she can navigate those people. That's a skill, folks. That's a skill. I also see Katherine making it past the pre-jury phase without a doubt. I don't want to say she's going to be a winner because I think it's way too early to call that. But I think she'll make it far with just from her occupation. Look, you can tell a lot about these people from their jobs, what people do for a living, and and the skill sets people have. That's the giveaway on how these people are going to perform. So Katherine, I think, is going to perform incredibly well. Next up, his hair will do all the talking because I think it looks absolutely fantastic and I am incredibly jealous. This is Keanu. Again, fantastic name. He's 33 years old. He is from Miami, Florida. Some more Florida love there. And his current city is McKinney, Texas. His occupation is a dungeon master. Now, What does that mean? I think I'm going to make an educated guess here. And I'm going to turn to my partner, who's also in the room, who I think knows what a Dungeon Master is, because I'm getting a look from them right now in the corner of my eye. But my bet, and I'm hoping that they're going to keep nodding as I say this next sentence, I think it's something to do with Dungeons and Dragons. I'm on the right tracks. I've got a thumbs up, folks. I believe it's somebody who professionally runs Dungeons and Dragons games. Did I hit the nail on the head?
Yes.
Yeah, look at me go, folks. Okay, right. A Dungeons and Dragons master. Okay, that's exciting. We haven't had somebody like that. That's cool. Probably also another person who's used to dealing with interesting personalities. So, but for the record, I've always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I've never done that, but I'm very interested in it. But Dungeon Master, I know the people who play Dungeons and Dragons are very kind of out there and performative and, you know, eccentric. That's exactly what you want in a house guest. We don't want another person who's, you know, less entertaining than a bowl of slop. You know, we want somebody who's actually going to be entertaining and will be funny on the live feeds. Because I'm so sick of people who just, you know, are like, hey, I'm an influencer and, you know, I'm here for followers. I get lost. Bring in the Dungeon Master. Come on, Keanu, let's go. Fantastic hair, fantastic occupation. I think Keanu is going to be a riot. Unfortunately, eccentric people can end up in the pre-jury. I'm just hoping Keanu can make it through and navigate those personalities in the first few weeks. But if he can get, you know, a decent grounding and can really kind of get a good foundation, he's off to the moon. He's off to the moon, he's off to the dungeon, wherever you want to go. But wow, Dungeons and Dragons Master, fantastic. That's a little bit of variation on somebody that we wouldn't usually see in the cast. Next up, folks, it's Kelly. Kelly is 29, and she is from Burbank, San Diego. I love that name. Listen, as a British person, San Diego just sounds so cool. And she is a web designer. So, she's the person so far that I haven't really got a lot to go off, but I love her clothing style. I feel like she looks a little bit nerdy, a little bit alternative, and I always gravitate towards those people. And I love her glasses as well. I know it's hard in the beginning just going off these profiles, but you know, the cast interviews will be released over the next few days, and we'll be able to do some more analysis on the cast a little bit more. I'll probably touch on it at the end, but right now we're going to go through just the baselines of all the profiles. But yeah, Kelly, 29. Unfortunately, I'm already seeing her as a pre-jury. I don't know. Just my gut. I've got a usual good gut when it comes to Big Brother. I see pre-jury. I hope I'm wrong, because she looks like a fun time. But I'm seeing pre-jury right now. So that's Kelly. She's a web designer from San Diego. Next up, folks, we have somebody younger than me. I already feel like an old man. This is Lauren. Lauren is 22. And she is from Lafayette, LA. And she is a bridal consultant. This is a more typical house guest that we get every single year. Again, I don't want to judge the book by its cover, because people surprise me every single year. But she's in the jury. She'll make it to the jury. I know that for a fact. But I am being told right now from my wonderful partner who's on the other side of the room that apparently she's a super fan. She's a super fan, and I already judged the book by its cover. I am sorry, Lauren. She is a super fan. That is a relief. There's a big smile on my face now, because I feel like this is, and I'm not saying about these specific people, but casting generally, when they grab people from LA, it's usually people who are influencers. And I am glad to be proven wrong that Lauren is a super fan. Maybe she will kick into gear and go crush it. I really hope she does. That's really, really, really good news, and I'm happy that Sam brought that to my attention. So can we all thank Sam for a second? Round of applause for Sam. He's getting all embarrassed now. Well done, Sam. Everyone say well done, Sam. Let's embarrass Sam. Yes, Sam. Woo! Let's go. Alright, folks. Moving on. Something I want to add about Adrien is I've just found out that apparently in preparation for the show, he has already made his own slop and slept on the floor. That's going to be brutal, isn't it? If he's like first boot after doing that. I'll tell you what though. As a fan, love it. Absolutely love it. And I think it's as much preparation as you can get for this kind of thing. But I also feel like have-nots have like recently became less and less relevant as the show has gone on. But listen, he's got one flex over the others. He's eating slop before everyone else. Our next house guest is Mickey. Mickey is 35. Her hometown is Jacksonville, Florida. And her current city is Atlanta, Georgia. Her occupation is event curator. I honestly thought her occupation was professional slay in Big Brother cast pictures, because look at that, folks. Look at that power pose. That is somebody who means business. That ain't somebody who's going to rock up and just kind of be like, can I join an alliance with you guys? Oh my god, what's the house doing this week? No. Mickey, look at that. Look at the way she positions the hands and marvelous. Marvelous, folks. That is up there with the aura painter. That is aura painting itself. If I didn't know better, that is aura painting. That she just painted her aura as something incredibly fantastic and strong. That is the power pose of the century. And event curator, that's an interesting one. So again, probably used to dealing with people. Any people skills jobs are great for Big Brother. Always. I've got a good feeling about Mickey. She looks like she's there for business. You can just tell sometimes from the poses. You can, because anybody could do all these poses. There's often a lot of dudes who come on and they have this pose like they're trying to be the genius, but you can sometimes tell that they're overcompensating, or always tell that they're overcompensating. She looks very confident and comfortable in herself. I've got my eye on Mickey. I've got both my eyes on Mickey. If I was an aura painter, that's a good aura. That's a really good aura and a really good pose. Next up, we have Morgan. Morgan is 33. I'm glad we're getting more house. Usually everyone's in their 20s. And while there is a lot of people in their 20s, this cast is skewing a little bit older. She's 33 years old. Her hometown is Palm Springs, California, but she currently lives in Los Angeles, California. Her occupation is a gamer. I love gaming. I'm a gamer. I game every single day in my downtime. I love a bit of Minecraft. I love Fortnite. I love Marvel Rivals. I love gaming, and I know that people who do love gaming are usually fans of strategy. I wouldn't have pegged her as a gamer, that's for sure. They couldn't have pegged her as a gamer from a mile away. I love her top. It's so funny. When you're looking at all these cast pictures at first and you don't have a hell of a lot to go off, you find yourself just having to read between the tiniest of lines. But I also am a big person that when it comes to talking strategy and talking Big Brother, I think it's so important to analyze body language. That stuff is so freaking important, and you can even tell from cast pictures who has a bit of an ego, or who is very comfortable in themselves, or who is, who knows their identity. You know what I mean? And Morgan looks a little shy. I'll say that for sure. She looks a little shy, but also as a result, I'm thinking pre-jury, but I also feel like she looks like she could be a Big Brother legend. When you think of cast pictures and and they stay with you forever, whether it's like Danielle Reyes or Dr. Will. I'm not saying she's that level, but she just looks like somebody who isn't gonna quietly fade into the night. You know what I mean? And gamers, like I said, are big fans of strategy, so I'm sure she's gonna incorporate that into her game. Probably best to not let people know you're a gamer, because when you're playing a game, the last thing you want to have a reputation of is being a gamer. She has to keep that zipped, lock and key, throw it away. She needs to come up with a new occupation, but then comes the challenge of being able to keep up appearances and lie about that occupation, because so many people lie about their occupation, and then by the time the season's kind of 3, 4, 5 weeks in, a couple of people get together and go, I know Morgan said she works in she's a florist, or she works in a flower shop, and I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. I think it's a crock of bull. So again, if she wants to make it far, she has to lie about the occupation. I will be critical, trust me. On my first, if after the first episode, my first video after that, you're going to see me being very critical if she comes in and tells people she's a gamer. If she does that, she's already lost stock points for me. But if she manages to lie successfully, then her stock points go up. Now, it wouldn't be Big Brother, would it, without a man in a cowboy hat. Our next house guest is Riley. He's 27. He's from Luther, Oklahoma, and he is a professional bull rider. Folks, we found a comp beast. We have found our first comp beast of the season, especially if it's a bull riding comp. He is going to be great at endurance challenges. Mark my words, folks. Professional bull rider, it doesn't scream people skills, but also lesser people have won Big Brother. People who are good at comps can often get to the end. I think in the more modern version of the game, strategy and social is favoured over competition. But that's not to say he doesn't have a cracking personality. We have to wait for that. Sorry, my Britishness came out there when I said cracking. Speaking of cracking, is any of you guys, my American followers, has anyone seen Gavin and Stacey? Because I know that's exactly where I said cracking from there. I'm interested to know if anybody's seen it. I bet there's only going to be like 1% of y'all that have actually seen Gavin and Stacey, but great show. He might have a cracking personality. But yeah, comp beast. That's my initial reaction. That's my initial thought when I look at him, when I see his occupation. I'm thinking that's going to be the man who is either the first HOH, or he's going to win the first veto, or he's going to win several of the first vetoes. Recent years have shown a trend of a veto king, where somebody comes through and wins veto after veto after veto. Jag did it and won the game. Derek X did it. He ended up in the jury very, very fast. But everyone remembers Derek X. So all these veto people, I think there's going to be another person to join a long line of veto kings or queens. Might be a queen. And we'll see if Riley is the one that's up to the task. Folks, we have another one from the leak the other day. We saw 5 house guests leaked in the promo, and one of them was Vince. Vince is 34 years old. His hometown is West Hills, California, and he is unemployed. So, we got a little less to go off there, but we also know that Vince used to play baseball. He used to play baseball, I believe it was for Colorado Christian University. So again, somebody who could be a comp beast. I love his flannel. I'm a big fan of a flannel, folks. But again, I can't really judge someone's game over a flannel. I wish I knew a little bit more about Vince, other than the fact that he's unemployed. But don't count out the unemployed. He might do it. You know, I hope his occupation becomes incredibly good Big Brother player. That's what I'm hoping for. But do I see that happening? Like I said, my gut always guides me in an interesting direction, and I feel like and I feel like my gut's usually right with Big Brother. I'm getting pre-jury. I'm getting pre-jury again. I've said that for I think 3 or 4 people so far. So again, I'm not going overboard there. There's just sometimes 4 or 5 people that give pre-jury, but I'm not going to be right on all of them. That's for sure. But Vince, for me, maybe some comp wins, but a swift exit out the door. Last but certainly not least is Zach. Zach was also a part of the leak the other day, and I touched on the fact that he is also a previous baseball player. He, though, actually went further in his baseball career. He was not only a baseball player, but he actually got into the minor leagues. It's not MLB, it's MILB, but again, I already predict a baseball alliance. I can hear it. You know, the edit loves to do all those cheesy gimmicks, and I can hear as soon as he gets in, you know, I met this guy, he's a baseball player too, and immediately we looked at each other and it was a home run. You know they're going to say some cheesy bullshit like that. You just know it. You just know it. And you're going to hear the crack of the baseball bat as, you know, and as they get the person they want on the block. A baseball alliance is the biggest takeaway from this, folks. But his current occupation is actually a marketing manager. I used to work in marketing myself. And it takes a lot of brain power. It takes a lot of brain power, and that's why I am already looking at Zach again as a contender for the crown. He is somebody who is going to have the comp prowess, baseball player. Not just baseball player, like I said, minor leagues. So he's a hot shot. And he's also going to have the brain power from marketing. And also, he is 27 years old, Cartersville, Georgia. That 27 we need to focus on right now, because we've got a lot skewing over 30 and we've got a lot skewing under 27. 27 feels like slap bang in the middle for this cast. Happy mediums can work in people's favours, right? You know, I don't know. There's just, I feel like the whole yin and yang, maybe, like, I feel like that always plays an element as well, you know what I mean? You've got all these chaos agents that happen, but it's always the person who's kind of right in the middle or is the most sane that tends to make it to the end, right? And Zach, being 27, I think is going to work to his advantage. The comp prowess, plus the knowledge from the marketing, that's on paper. On paper is the key word here. That's a wrapped up Big Brother player gifted to us right there. But only time's going to tell on if Zach will make it to the end. That is all of your Big Brother updates for today, folks. What a beautiful cast we've got. I am so freaking excited to let the games begin. I want everybody to let me know now in the comments section who you think is going to be our winner for Big Brother 27. I officially announced on Twitter and on YouTube community yesterday that for the first time in 6 years, I've got a Patreon, folks, and you can join it. I'm building a very positive community on Discord of Big Brother fans, and you can join that on the first tier. Every single tier on my Patreon gives access to the Discord, and we're doing a draft for the pre-season. So anybody who joins before Saturday, because we'll do it after the first episode, anybody who joins before Saturday, you can join in the draft, and the winner at the end of the season will receive $25. So please consider joining my Patreon for that. Also, there is an exclusive patron-only series on my second tier of the Patreon. We're going all the way back to where the game began. I haven't rewatched Big Brother in forever, and I've been really wanting to do it, and it felt like the perfect opportunity for this right now. So if you join my Patreon, I'm so excited about this summer, guys. I can't even get my words out. We're going to take a trip down memory lane and watch Big Brother from the start. So I hope to see you there for that. There's other perks that include having your name at the end of every single video, a follow from me on Twitter, ad-free live feed updates. So check out my Patreon and see what tickles your fancy, and I hope to see you there. But folks, like I said, what a beautiful cast. I can't wait to see how these folks are going to play. And let the games begin. Honestly, I'm enough waiting around. Let the games begin. But like I said, folks, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single last one of you. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next Big Brother update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.